Mrs. Sloan, Mrs. Johnson, Mrs. Baer, Mrs. Vase, Mr. Greenstein, Mrs. Nadolny, Mrs. Weisberg. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Kevin Scully, Director of Creative Arts for the Port Washington School District. And this year we've been meeting in the library, so we've been having a lot of small groups. And in this time of the year, it's also difficult to get large ensembles together. So I sent an email out to our music teachers, and I asked if anyone had any singers or piano players. I thought that would be a good way to end the year. And Ms. Reardon from Guggenheim, who cannot be here this evening, was the first to respond. She said, I have someone. And I think you're going to really enjoy Nina Calcara singing If the World Only Knew.
Every day seems like the day before, keeping to myself but wanting so much more. I can be a painter in the Hall of Fame. I can almost hear them calling out my name. But when people look at me, that's not what they see. If the world only knew what I could do, they would be astounded. If the world only knew what I could do, I would be surrounded. If the world only knew what I could do, then I could be free. If they could see there's so much more in me. I put up my guard to deal with fear. When things get too hard, then I disappear. I wish that I could tell them, make them understand. Being different wasn't something I had planned. But when people look at me, they don't want to see. If the world only knew what I could do, I would be respected. If the world only knew what I could do, I would not be rejected. If the world only knew what I could do, then
Well, there's definitely not much to say after that, but I have to say it's such a beautiful performance. We're so happy you're in our schools, and it's a wonderful way to end our school year. So thank you so much for sharing your beautiful voice with us.
Just want to make a motion for the adoption of the agenda. Mr. Bear, do you want a second? So second, Mr. Bear, all in favor? 7-0, thank you. That will be his, well, not the last of the evening, so I won't say that. Okay, we have some presentations this evening. So should we begin with those? Okay. We have some board members that will be leaving the board this year, and we wanted to recognize them, as is our tradition. So first, we have Christine Nadolny, and she has been with us for 4 years. Tonight, we're going to talk a lot about volunteerism in Port Washington in our school district, and people forget often that board members are volunteers, and she has served above and beyond. She has traveled far and wide across the country, all over, to better our schools by meeting with other school districts and other members of school boards everywhere. There was no conference too big or too small, coming back with notes upon notes and all kinds of ideas. And it's great to have someone who asks all these questions of you and makes you be as good as you can be on our board, and that's what Chris has done for us. And we will miss that and hope she will still be an active parent member of the community. And we thank you so much for all your service on the board, and we have something for you that I just have to rubber band and make sure I'm giving you the right one. Well, we can look at it after, but thank you. I hope you'll all join me in thanking Chris for being And now to our Mr. Bear, Alan Bear. 9 years. 9 years in total, not consecutive. I need a minute. It's that performance, did me in. Alan has been the steady hand. I'm going to miss someone calling me boss because no one else does that. And he has helped guide this district through many things, most importantly, $150 million worth of bond. Pretty impressive. He lied, though. He promised to stay on until after I left. But we're going to miss him. He's given a lot to this community. He's taken a lot of heat at times. He's stayed always with the steady hand, the gentleman, even at meetings where he's lost his temper. Few people would know it. That's a gift. And we're going to miss him. Thank you. Bonnie's going to speak first.
You want Bonnie to speak first? I can ask her.
Yeah, Bonnie, speak.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, Mary.
I just wanted to say that Mr. Bear did promise he would come to Budget and Facilities meetings at 8:15, and I told him we were changing the time to 8:30.
I'm pretty sure we don't want to welcome him on the other side of the table.
Yeah, before I move on to the next recognition, I just want to also offer my heartfelt appreciation to both Chris and to Alan. It's really been a very special, unique opportunity for me to work with both of you, and I truly appreciate all the support and guidance you've given us in allowing administration to do the work that we've been able to do, and you both had a great deal of impact on helping us move forward, so we really, really thank you so much. Okay, so we have several recognitions tonight. So our next recognition is for a teacher. So I'm actually first going to ask Mrs. Cohen to come up and speak to her this recognition, and then the board would like to give a certificate of appreciation. So I will let Mrs. Cohen start, and then we'll move from there. Thank you.
Thank you. I had the pleasure of joining Director of Athletics, Physical Education and Health, Stephanie Joannan, PWTA President Christine Vasilev, and the family of Megara Regan last night as she was awarded the Elementary School Teacher of the Year Award by the Nassau Zone of New York State, AFERD, the New York State Association for Health, Physical Education, Recreation, and Dance. This was such a proud moment for all of us as we honored a most deserving teacher. Not only is Mrs. Regan a rock star to the children with her Milers Running Club, Early Bird Before School Fitness Program, and Action-Based Learning Initiative, she is the glue among her colleagues. We look forward to her leading movement breaks at faculty meetings and board meetings. We all know how important morale is in schools today. Our teachers and staff members are not complaining. They're collaborating and talking about exercise and fitness and ways to improve learning through movement. They are having discussions on how to incorporate movement in their teaching and planning for school-wide events to showcase what we do for our Manor Haven families. Mrs. Regan teaches our children not to be winners, but to do their best, play fair, and above all else, show good sportsmanship. She is a great role model for our children. I do have to mention, though, that Mrs. Regan has won not only this award, but last night she was also recognized for coming in first place for the Get Moving New York video contest sponsored by AFERD. Her name was on the program twice. 2 weeks ago, she was notified that for the second time, Manor Haven School was named the winner of the Let's Move Active Schools Award, a national award that began as an initiative by former First Lady Michelle Obama to recognize schools with top physical activity and physical education distinction. She wins grants after grants to keep up with her ideas and initiatives. Yes, Mrs. Regan is a winner, but she played fair, worked hard, and always showed good sportsmanship. Congratulations.
Okay, we just have one more group but they are a very important group in our school district. We have started the tradition at this meeting, as it is these presidents' last meeting serving as co-presidents of all the home school association and parent-teacher associations. And we want to acknowledge all the work they have put in, all the time and effort, the countless hours. It is not always the most appreciated job by the entire community, but it is always, always appreciated by the Board of Education and the administration. So we wanted to thank you tonight. And I believe Dr. Mooney would like to add to that.
I just also want to add, again, our very deep appreciation for your volunteer service and all the work that you do on behalf of your individual schools, but also I think the community should know that you have a collective effort as well, which is just so important. And your teamwork, your support, all the many ways that you provide programs and all kinds of different activities for our students in the schools is really, really, it's very important. And we know it's a 2-year term, but some people are actually gracious enough to perhaps graduate and move up and come to a different level, or sometimes we see some individuals come back again to us after a couple of years. And again, we're really appreciative and excited to do that. So I think first we would like to, we'll announce and ask the outgoing co-presidents to come up and receive a certificate from the board. And then we have asked each of your liaisons, whether it's your building principal or if it is, for example, SEPTA or Aggie, we've asked an administrator to come up and just acknowledge you and the work that you've done for this year. So I think we'll start with the certificates and we'll go from there.
I'd just like to say that I always like to say good presidents never go away. They just come back in another place. And if you're really, really foolish, you come to the Board of Ed. No, it's good. Okay, I'll go down in order. If everybody could come up here to get your certificate. Jennifer Mannion, Parents Council. Meredith Steigman, Schreiber HSA. Julie Chassell, Weber HSA. Wait. Certificate. Deborah Dano, Daly HSA. Cindy Maroney, Guggenheim HSA. Thank you. Thank you for everything. Erica Trope, Manor Haven PTA. You get thanked twice. Been a tough year. Bonnie Sinclair, Sousa HSA. Thank you for everything. Kathy Galanis, South Salem HSA. Sheila Hay, Agate, HSA. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Okay, I'm not going to get this name right. I'm sorry. Cara Haristoforados? SEPTA. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for everything. And and Sharon Sissimit, Pre-K Liaison. Thank you. Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now the principal can speak?
Since we are in the spirit of celebrating volunteerism this evening, we thought that we would actually just take a moment to acknowledge not only the individuals, but some of the work that was done by the entire organizations in each of the schools. By thanking Parent Council. I work directly with the Parent Council co-presidents and as an overarching body and liaisons for all of the individual school organizations. They also orchestrate and arrange for some very important community activities. So we're always very appreciative of the winter and spring, the coat drives. It's a lot of work and we really appreciate all that happens with that. The work on the budget, it's really, again, you know, we can't get, once we do our job, we leave it to our parent groups to take over, and they do such an excellent job. It's really, really hard work. And something that I think we're very excited and proud about this year is that we've been doing a greater effort. There are families in our community at certain times of the year where they may not have access to as much food and things like that. So we've been, through Parent Council and our individual organizations, we've been doing food drives at different times of the year. The summertime actually is a time when some families do suffer because children do receive meals in schools, and when school is not in session, it's a little bit more challenging. So I truly thank Parent Council for the work that they've done this year with us, and each year, always. I will ask the principals, each principal to come up. I guess we can start with Dr. Pernick, is that? Okay. Thank you, Dr. Pernick, for taking the lead.
We're going in order. You called everybody up. My name is Ira Pernick. I'm the principal here at Schreiber High School, and I get the great pleasure to really thank Meredith Steigman for her work volunteering. I often forget that it's a volunteer position because of the endless commitment, day or night, when it comes to doing anything to support the students of Schreiber High School. The same, of course, is true for Alexis Siegel, co-president, and of course it'll be true for Lauren Edwards, who is staring at me from behind. I could feel it. It is really a partnership more than anything else, whether we are planning the gamble or we are planning to support students in need. It is something that we do together, and it's something that I was taught from when I first arrived, first by Nora Johnson, then by Emily Bays. And so I thank Meredith for continuing that tradition of working with me and with the faculty and staff of Schreiber High School to continue to make it a truly remarkable school, and I think set a good example for the community. Thank you, Meredith. Thanks.
Good evening, everybody. I am Pia Ferrante, the principal of Salem, for those of you who do not know me. I am really happy for this opportunity because while we all say how much the HSAs do for us, this really allows us the opportunity to celebrate just how much the HSAs or PTAs enrich our curriculum with amazing programs. So this year alone, because of our HSA, our kindergartners experienced yoga, our second graders became circus artists, our third graders participated in Taekwondo, which was tied into social emotional learning and became pop-up artists and authors alongside Matthew Reinhardt. Our fourth graders became NASA scientists through Submerged Storytelling program. Our fifth graders danced our way into our hearts with dancing classrooms. Our fourth and fifth graders were able to continue with their outdoor educational boat trips, and each and every Salem student experienced a live performance at the Tillis Center. This is just the tip of the iceberg on how they have enriched our curriculum. They host events such as Literacy Night and STEM Math Night, parties, carnivals, fundraisers, and talent show, and so much more, such as helping create an outside learning classroom, which will get done. Salem HSA gives us so much more than I can ever ask for. I thank the entire HSA, especially the co-presidents, who put endless hours of time into fundraising and planning. I really want to take this moment, though, to thank Kathy Galanis, the outgoing president. We started this journey together 2 years ago and have developed a strong working relationship and a mutual respect for one another. And even at times, we've had to agree to disagree. But it's been a fantastic ride. Her sense of humor gets us through some crazy times, and I will miss her greatly and thank her for her dedication to Salem and to each and every one of the students, not just yours. Don't be a stranger. Please make sure you come visit and stay part of the community. Thank you.
Good evening. This year, the Weber HSA has been acutely focused on increasing lines of communication between the school and the home, and we believe that this has helped foster a culture where parents feel more informed about what their children are doing in school each day. As many of you know, Weber, with the help of the HSA, kicked off this school year with the introduction of our new logo, school colors, and, yes, the Viking mascot, to align with Schreiber as part of the greater secondary campus. For many, from the teacher and the student body, this change symbolized a strong sense of unity. The HSA was in lockstep with my office for every milestone this year, eager to help us spread the word and at the same time become an active part of the growing dialogue. Through their newsletters, the HSA has succeeded in both reinforcing what the school needs to communicate and at the same time heavily promoting student achievements and the teachers' dedicated efforts. Their weekly email, used to help communicate staff needs and important club announcements, also features the school's Twitter feed and the new principal's newsletter, two tools that serve as a powerful catalyst for improving parent involvement. This has resulted in a more seamless and collaborative environment and opened doors for exciting new opportunities for our students, including, most recently, having the chorus students sing the national anthem a cappella at a recent Mets game at Citi Field, continued funding for our cultural arts assemblies that foster an appreciation of the arts, and a pledge by our HSA to educate and inform students about social media use. And any time teachers were in need of support, the HSA stepped up to help, whether it was to promote their work, help run an event, or support them financially. Our teachers have noticed and have started to engage directly with the HSA on special announcements via their newsletter. Next year, in an effort to further encourage the participation of parents in our school community, the HSA plans to eliminate the HSA membership fees, launch free access to an online directory, and continue to increase communication between the school and the home. On behalf of the entire Weber staff, I want to thank our exiting president, Julie Chassel, for her 2 years of volunteerism, and the leadership that has been provided by co-president Matt L'Enfant, and the HSA for their valuable efforts and involvement in making Weber more accessible to parents. We look forward to continuing our partnership next September when we kick off the year with a new middle school club orientation at our first HSA meeting. Yet another example of our constructive collaboration. Thank you, Julie. If I may just change hats. Dr. Mioli regrets that he cannot be here to honor Mrs. Sinclair and her many contributions to the Sousa family over the past 2 years. He asked me to read some remarks since, should current trends continue, she will probably be the president at Weber in a few years anyway. While it is not an anachronism, Bonnie Sinclair may have been the person Teddy Roosevelt had in mind when he advised that one should speak softly and carry a big stick. Bonnie is normally very quiet. She is not fond of the public spotlight, and as a result, Sousa has had the shortest HSA meetings on record all year. She is not, however, without opinions, ideas, will, or drive. On the agenda tonight is a gift from the Sousa HSA for a whole new playground system, the result of 2 years of fundraising and planning during her presidency. When she found out last year, at this time, that the district was planning on repaving the side lot, she helped take the opportunity to make some suggestions that resulted in a whole new drop-off lane and traffic routing that has vastly improved arrivals and departures at Sousa this year. Similarly, when it was noted that students would benefit from more recess game templates on the back blacktop, she and a number of Sousa faithful showed up over the summer on more than one morning in 100+ degree heat to block out and paint foursquare, hopscotch, and basketball areas for our kids to play. Our directory and handbook have gone online and paperless, and we have added numerous events and opportunities, too many to enumerate here, for Sousa parents and students under her watch. Although we will miss her very effective HSA leadership, we look forward to her continuing work on our Building Safety Committee and other Sousa and district events and causes. Thank you, Bonnie, for all that you've done for Sousa as the HSA president.
Hi, good evening. I'm Sherry Suzanne, the very proud principal at Daly and the pre-K, and thank you, Sharon. She was incoming and outgoing since pre-K is only 1 year, but this was our very first year that we actually had representation from pre-K, and we thank you very much and look forward to that continuing trend. I also want to take the opportunity to thank all of the HSAs for their generosity in participating with the pre-K and supporting some activities this year. We truly thank you, as all the pre-K students are going to go forward to all the elementary schools this year, so thank you. I'm just completing my 3rd year at Daly, and over the last couple of years I had the pleasure of growing and watching be grown such a strong homeschool connection between myself, the entire Daly community, and our parents. Under the leadership my first year under Jen Rothenberg and Jamie Lowy, and then Jamie Lowy and Deb Dano, and this year Deb Dano and Cheryl Spring, and moving forward Deb Dano and Amy Snortland, I know, is here with flowers. Just a few words about Deb. We have lots in common, physically of course, and I just said this morning at the meeting, Deb is able to keep up with me and run even faster, which is never an easy feat, but when we're not talking about how we're grooming our curly curls, we have managed to get a lot done together at Daly this year and over the last 2 years. Deb is also calm always, quiet, brilliant, and a true cheerleader. And I can't thank her enough for helping to bring all the wonderful programs that we have at Daly today. We have changed the format of how cultural arts is delivered at Daly to each grade level, also receiving yoga and bringing in visiting artists and a lot of different things. Deb has trusted me in all my recommendations. Deb has had my back during some tough days, and I can't thank her enough for that. She was inspirational during our whole Daly rebranding as we came up with a new school vision, and we worked tirelessly to make sure everybody's voice was heard. This year also, Deb, again, very quietly and with a lot of class help to get off our networking evening when we brought in our non-English speaking parents to come in to ensure that they were feeling part of the community. And Deb, I always like to think of as like my fairy godmother. I kind of say it and it just appears. I send out an email, ooh, forgot snacks, and literally she comes sashaying in with pretzels and bananas 5 minutes later. Deb also helped to write the grant for our kinesthetic classrooms that we're going to have next year, along with her expertise in OT. And her legacy is going to live on for years and years. And we know you still have a first grader and fourth grader, so we know she won't be far behind. But from the bottom of all of our hearts, we thank you very, very much and look forward to seeing you very much around Daly, and just know that you have changed the face for Daly forever. So thank you.
This year, I have had the pleasure of working with Manor Haven PTA co-presidents Alana Engel and Erica Trapp. Erica is outgoing, and we are welcoming Sarah Raber. Mrs. Trapp has 3 beautiful children at Manor Haven School, so I am not really saying goodbye, just thank you for your PTA leadership over the past 2 years. The best part of working with Erica is that it has been effortless. Not to make light of the effort that she has put into the position, but from my perspective, she's one of the easiest people to be around and to collaborate with. She is organized, dedicated, and hardworking. I would like to thank her for her time as a volunteer and also mention all that has been accomplished by the PTA under her leadership. We have had many new programs this year and are very proud of their success. We had our first and fabulous STEM night and also finished our first year with a very popular before-school STEM club for students in grades 3 to 5. Also new this year is our awesome Garden on the Hill, which has been an incredible learning experience for our children. This was made possible by a grant from the Ed Foundation and the continued support of our PTA. This summer, the PTA sent 2 teachers to the Action-Based Learning Summer Institute to become certified action-based learning trainers and purchased 5 kinesthetic corners for our classrooms. This included 2 pedal desks and learning mats in each classroom. Our growth in this area and recognition as a model ABL school can be attributed to our supportive PTA. We have iPads and charging stations and very happy teachers because of this. So with fondness and gratitude, I thank our PTA and I thank Erica Trapp. I'm staying up here because I'm up here for Barbara Giebel, who regretfully can't be here, but because of that, I get to read a speech with the word Googies in it. Those are the Guggenheim parents. I have known Sydney Maroney for 10 years. You can tell from the beginning that she was a parent who wanted the best for her sons, as well as for the rest of the children in the building. Cindy volunteered for every HSA committee, whether it was fundraising or nighttime activities such as PARP and Guggenheim's Gratitude Committee. Cindy was also a class parent who always went above and beyond. She always communicated with the teachers to find out what they might need or want when it came to classroom celebrations. As time went on, Cindy became a member of the HSA Executive Board. Her drive and determination to help every child in the building was evident to all of us. As a mother of 2 boys, Cindy also volunteered with the Boy Scouts and helped many of Guggenheim's former students prepare for the Eagle Scout Award. Over the past 2 years, Cindy was co-president of Guggenheim's HSA. She worked closely with both of her partners, Lisa Sparita and Annie Thornton, as well as Barbara, to bring enrichment to the Guggenheim community. 3 of the most recent things she assisted with were the BioBus, Story Pirates, and dancing classrooms. Her efforts were very much appreciated, not only by the students, but by the teachers as well. It is going to be difficult to say goodbye to Cindy. Her legacy and advocacy for the children and with the HSA will live on for a very long time. Cindy, everyone leaves behind footprints in the sands of time, but your footprints will be engraved on stone for future Googies to follow. Thanks for everything you've done, Barbara.
everybody. I'm Mary Frizel. I'm the Director of Pupil Services in the district. And I really want to start by saying to our entire SEPTA group that is here this evening, Mrs. Haristophoratis, who will be our outgoing. She's here with Mrs. Tain and our incoming, Mrs. Robinson. I am one very appreciative district director of special education. I've been doing this job for a long time in multiple districts, and what makes it different here in Port Washington is, of course, the support from the board and my colleagues and all of that, but also the way that we are able to work with our SEPTA is unique. You know, what we all know is that students with disabilities, it's a natural part of living. And what we do to work together is to try to emphasize the abilities of our kids while we try to minimize some of the vulnerabilities they have to face. So being a SEPTA co-president is such an important part of the work that we have to do all together and that we actually enjoy doing. And so, Mrs. Haristophoratis, providing this kind of support that you do to your colleagues, SEPTA parents, as well as the PPS administrators is a huge undertaking. Your organizational skills are impressive, but even more than that, your very open attitude. And I am grateful for the generosity of time that you give to SEPTA and to our department. You know, our SEPTAs run some amazing parent evenings for our parents. They run creative readers on Saturday mornings, which is up for a national award, I understand. They do a lot of after-school kids. They reach out to people in the community, whether it's rowing or sports or the JCC or Port Counseling Center. They just do it all. And I think that one of the things that is remarkable here is that the way we work with our SEPTA is that when we work together, we can get things done and we can continue the things that are really good, but equally important. You help me learn places that I should pivot and do some change and growth, and I'm appreciative of that in a very big way. So I appreciate all of your support. I know that Mrs. Haristophoratis, her kids are young, so we'll be seeing her for a number of years. This is just a big thank you, so appreciate it.
Good evening. I'm Hank Hardy. I'm the District Director of Guidance. I've been working or the liaison for Agate for many years, and I've seen the growth in this organization and what impact that they've had. For many people, you may not know what Agate stands for. It's the Association for Gifted and Talented Education. And they work, that's title I don't think is completely accurate. And I'll share with you why, because if you go to the Agate website, and I wanted to quote this directly, at Agate, we believe all students deserve an appropriate and challenging education designed to help them achieve their fullest potential. And in the years that I have been the liaison and have seen the passion that they have and heard what they have said at meetings, and know that they have met with central registration in supporting the initiatives that we've done with the district. Mindfulness and reducing stress, graduates coming back to speak to students who are here to help them prepare for the future. Their endeavors of this membership are always to help our students to be stronger, be more prepared, and go out into the world that they right now don't know what it will be because it's ever changing. And what they want to do is make sure that they have those skills and that education to prepare them for what's to come. It is a community organization, as I said, that's advocating for all our students. And their programs and their informational sessions provide an entire community with information that's enlightening and thought-provoking. And I think that's the best way to say it. And the co-presidents and the members, because if you look on their website, they encompass all of the schools. They have liaisons in every one of the buildings. They have support that they've given to our district for helping us to move forward. And they've done a lot of work this past year and the years that have even been before this. That doesn't happen without strong leadership. That does not happen without people having a vision and a mission and passion. And that is exactly what the co-presidents have had, especially Sheila Hay. And I do know that Dina Morrow and Lee Richards will also be carrying on that tradition of passion, leadership, and thought-provoking initiatives that you're working with the district on. So we thank you, and I look forward to another year being your liaison. So thank you very much.
Thank you. If there is anyone in the audience that hasn't spoken and would like to now during student and community comments, we would call you up now. Thank you. Great. We do ask you to identify yourself for the record, and we will have a 3-minute limit. Unless someone sings, which we had once before, it's hard to interrupt.
You do not want me to sing, trust me. Good evening. My name is Sue Hershkowitz, and this is Dawn Epp. We are here tonight to speak for 3 minutes or less to express our sincerest gratitude to our friend Chris Nadolny for her years of service and dedication to our schools and our community. Dawn, Chris, and I became friends during our days at Salem Elementary. We were bound by our mutual passion for education and collective vision that our public schools, in partnership with our entire community, need to provide every child with the opportunity to grow academically, find their passions, and ultimately shine. While Dawn and I love to talk the talk, Chris had the courage, conviction, and commitment to run for the school board to help ensure this vision was a reality for all of our children. I am not sure if everyone can truly appreciate the time and effort that our board members put into making our district great. The hours of committee meetings, executive session, board meetings, numerous HSA and other community meetings, plus the emails they must read and have answered. It is exhausting just thinking about it. But this was not enough. Chris also traveled to Albany several times to speak to our representatives to advocate for our district. She attended the New York State School Board Association conferences, the National School Board Association conferences, using her own money and taking time away from her own kids. Chris also visited schools across the country that were implementing new and innovative programs in hopes of raising the quality of education, to learn from them firsthand what worked and what did not. To be honest, this is only the stuff I can actually remember. There is so much more. Everything Chris has done the past 4 years was done with a simple desire to help make Port schools the best they could be. On behalf of myself, my husband Drew, and our 3 kids, Dawn and Peter Epp and their 3 kids, we thank you, Chris, from the bottom of our hearts. Your time, commitment, and passion, are appreciated more than you could know. We hope that you will continue to be an active parent and community member. Before I give up my 3 minutes of fame, Dawn and I would also like to thank the entire school board, Dr. Mooney, Dr. Westervelt, all of the administrators, and of course all of the teachers and staff that have worked so hard to make this such an amazing year for our kids. We wish everyone a healthy and relaxing summer.
Hello, my name is Ann Koppel, and I am retiring from Weber this year after 30 years of teaching art, and I do want to make a little statement. I would like to thank the board and the community for the amazing opportunities that teaching in Port Washington has given me. I am grateful for the wonderful experiences I have had over the years with so many students and colleagues, and for the support that our Weber principal, Chris Shields, gives to make each day meaningful for kids. I came to Port in 1987 to begin a 30-year career learning the value of a strong connection between school and community that makes Port Washington such a healthy environment for families. No one has had it better than I. Thank you for the best 30 years of my professional life.
Are there any other community comments? Okay, I think I spoke enough for tonight, but just would like to say we have thanked a lot of people, and we did not, as a board yet, have an opportunity to thank the entire staff for another amazing school year. It doesn't happen by accident, and we thank those that are here tonight, those that aren't here tonight, but everyone who makes this school district everything that it is, which is really an amazing place. So thank you, and we hope everyone has a great summer. We do not rest in the summer. We will still have board meetings. We hope we'll see you here. They're even more fun in the summer. And we will be forming our new committees. The dates will be posted on our new beautiful website. And we will have some committee meetings going on over the summer because we will be doing quite a bit of work to the facilities. And already looking at our budget for next year, Mr. Bear, thank you. And now we will move on to, we did the certificates. The superintendent, do you have anything else to say?
Sorry, I do. I have just a few more things to say. First of all, I have not had an opportunity to thank the community for passing our 17-18 budget, and by such a very wide margin. So thank you very much for all of that. It allows us to move forward, and we've been very hard at work, particularly setting up for next school year and with our hiring. In fact, on tonight's agenda, there are quite a few new hires that will be happening. So again, everyone's efforts and support of our work is truly appreciated. There's so many end-of-the-year activities going on right now. There have been concerts and sporting events and awards ceremonies, induction ceremonies for honor societies, and of course, coming up in the next week are our moving up ceremonies and graduation, which is all our culminating events. I think this was a really, really fantastic school year for us. We've accomplished so much. We have so much more work to do, but we're always up for the task. I also want to thank my cabinet here and my administrative team, the work I do with our bargaining unit leaders, in keeping us with a collaboration, in addition to the work with the parents, but always working with the board. It is truly an honor and a privilege to work with a group of individuals who are so very dedicated to providing our students with the best education possible. And we will continue to fight the good fight, no matter what we need to do to keep all of that going. I don't want to get ahead of anything, but I'm very happy tonight. We have been able to, we had a couple of administrative positions, so the board will be, we are anticipating the board to be approving a new assistant principal for Weber Middle School and a new elementary assistant principal who will divide her time between Guggenheim and Sousa. But those appointments will be happening very, very shortly. But I would like to welcome both Dan Chacon, someone who's familiar to us at Weber as a technology teacher, who will be the new assistant principal at Weber, and Dr. Kim Liccato, who will be coming to us from the West Hampton School District, and we welcome her as well. I will close just briefly with the enrollment report and our kindergarten enrollment. We're watching that closely as well.
Thank you, Dr. Mooney. As of June 7th, our total enrollment was 5,550. You can stick to the fives around here. And our total enrollment, or registrants right now for kindergarten as of today, is 385. We're looking right now probably at 3 sections of Daly, 4 sections at Guggenheim, 5 sections at Sousa, 4 sections at Manor-Haven, and Salem is on the cusp, but it's looking good for 4 sections for that as well. Thank you.
I'll make a motion for the approval of minutes as follows for May 2nd, 2017, May 16th, 2017. Do I have a second? Mr. Bear, all in favor? 7-0, thank you. And we'll go to the committee reports, policy and personnel.
Well, as Karen said, we will be working over the summer, and we will have some meetings, so the meetings will be posted. Tonight, we actually do have a policy on for first reading, and that is the policy regarding the budget vote in the trustee election, and we've made a couple of minor, really administrative technical changes. Nothing substantive is what I'm trying to say on that policy, and it's just being tweaked a little to make it accurate in terms of the days that the vote takes place and who can vote, being consistent with throughout the document. So hope to see some of you over the summer. And to those who have consistently come to our meetings, the community, I thank you for a good year.
I'd like to second Dr. Mooney's thanks to everybody for coming out and approving the budget this year. We worked pretty hard this year on that budget formation, so we very much appreciate the support. As I'm sure a lot of you are aware, we're in the midst of our $69 million bond, and that does not stop over the summer. On tonight's agenda, we have locker rooms at Schreiber, roof bids at Schreiber and Guggenheim on for approval. We're waiting to very shortly be able to approve the Weber Auditorium and the Weber locker rooms, and just waiting with bated breath for approval for the Guggenheim and Manor Haven additions. And so all of that work will continue over the summer. Our committee work will continue over the summer, and our work with the board will continue over the summer to keep everything moving along.
Curriculum, we met a couple of weeks ago and had a report on Project Lead the Way, which is an exciting program making STEM more accessible to the students at SUSA. And it dovetails very nicely with the tech program that's at Weber. And it was a great program, and we hope to see it more training and more staff being involved in it, which is the plan going forward. We're meeting this Friday, and we're going to do a recap of what it is we've done this year. And anybody who wants to come, it will be at 8:30 at the Daily Annex. And should be good. We accomplished a lot this year, and we did a lot of initiatives, and hopefully we will continue on and do the same next year. So thank you.
Now I'm going to move to the action items. I'm going to pull out C6 and do that first just to put things in proper order. So I am going to make a motion for item C6. Do I have a second? Mr. Bear, all in favor? 6-0. Thank you. And now I'll make a motion for items A1 through D29A. Do I have a second? Mr. Bear, all in favor? 6-0. Thank you very much. I would just like to thank some of our very generous donors, Stop and Shop for their donation. There are a few anonymous donors that gave us various scholarships for this year's graduates. The Havasu Scholarship Fund and the Bureau Scholarship Fund, the Richard Boyle Memorial Award, and the Peter and Jerry DeJana Family Foundation, the SUSA HSA, Hearts, the Ed Foundation, South Salem HSA, and I hope I didn't miss anyone, but I think those are all the donations we accepted this evening, so thank you very much to the community and their generosity to us. We have first reading for policies this evening, Policy 2120 on school board elections, and we will now approve the calendar for next year's Board of Education meeting dates, 2017, 2018. Do I have a second? Come on. Mr. Bear, any discussion? Yes, I'd just like to mention that's his last second ever in the history of the Board of Education. Call to question. All in favor? 6-0. Thank you very much. Old business. New business.
We need to nominate somebody for District 11 Director, Area 11 Director, and I wanted to nominate B.A. Schoen for that position.
Do we have to take a vote on that?
I believe we have to, as a board, discuss it and be in.
Well, I support your nomination. Anyone else?
Last September or October, we passed a resolution concerning student privacy, which Chris brought up to the school board's convention as a late resolution. And due to the nature of the fact that it was a late resolution, it didn't get accepted, but we were encouraged to bring it in on time this year. So I know that Beth has been working with some other school districts to try to get more support. And I guess my question is, do we want to do it before the end of this year, or do we want to have the new board do it in July? Either way is fine. We have till July 31st, I believe, to get it into them. So you've been in touch with more of the people, so I just figured I'd throw it over to you.
I think it might actually help us get more people on board if we approved it now, and that would be beneficial as far as moving them along to actually get it approved by their boards.
So I don't know if we re-ratify it. We already did it this calendar year. I'm not exactly sure what the proper way to be, but I guess we'll just take a sense of the board that we want to continue with it. Thanks.
We'll now have our second and last opportunity for the community to be heard.
Good evening again. On behalf of the Association of Public School Administrators, both Mr. Shields and myself would like to thank Chris Nadolny and Alan Baer for their time, energy, and ever-present support of all of our students, staff, and community. We feel so very, very fortunate to have been able to work with you during all of your terms on the Board of Education, and you will be missed. Thank you so much.
Is there anyone else? Okay, Dr. Mooney?
I just wanted to add that maybe it's not so well known, but Mr. Swenson, the assistant principal at Weber, is leaving us to pursue some other career opportunities. And so he has served us very, very well for many, many years, and we wish him all of the best, as he moves on and tries something different and new for himself. And that's one of the reasons, obviously, why we have an opening at Weber. I would now like to officially welcome Dan Chacon as the new assistant principal at Weber Middle School. And Dr. Kim Licato as our new elementary assistant principal. And we welcome you to our community, and we wish you all the best as well. I don't know.
I believe we are adjourned, and happy summer to everyone.